Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a general reading for the sign of Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Capricorn, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, you can find that information in my Buy Me a Coffee link, my official Instagram and TikTok, all listed in the About section of my YouTube page. And I thank you so much in advance. Capricorn, I hope that you're doing well. I apologize for my raspy voice. I'm slightly under the weather, and I can't seem to get my voice back to where I want it to be, so I apologize for that in advance. I'm going to be using 2 decks for your reading today. The first one for the overall energy will be from the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck, and at the end I will read from the book. And the tarot portion of the reading will be with the Mystic Mondays Tarot. I don't know what's coming, but I guess it's very important. This is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. A master number 22, the Creator. You know, when I was, actually last night when I was shuffling this deck, I kept seeing this card pop out. It didn't pop out for anybody but you, but I thought, you know, how much I would love to get a card like this. How vibrant it is, how dynamic, and also how simple, right? That to a certain extent, we don't need much to be able to express ourselves, with the exception of the confidence to do so. We can just use a single paintbrush, a pen, a pencil, some clay. You know, there's this lady on Instagram, she creates these beautiful collages, I guess you would call them, assemblages with sticks and twigs and leaves and, you know, things that are discarded by nature. She uses all those things to create these beautiful, beautiful pieces. I mean, yes, she paid for the photography equipment that she uses to photograph them, and the lighting perhaps, but that's about it. Everything else she gets to create her artwork, she finds in nature. So it struck me yesterday, and it's striking me the same way today, that all we need is the dream of something, the idea of something, and the wherewithal to make it happen, the impetus, the confidence to make it happen. And I feel as though you're finding that confidence right now. You're expressing that in some way, whether through art or writing, some kind of creative expression. I see like people in poetry slams or some kind of events where the spoken word is occurring, and it's bringing about all of this. It's generating this momentum. These colors back here feel like swirling, like they feel like they're moving, to be honest. When I look at it, it feels like it's moving. And this feels like, it's kind of like this kind of black energy over here. It feels like when we pull apart a piece of fruit. I'm trying to think of which fruit really displays this, like a jackfruit. Even an orange, if you peel away the orange, it's like all these fibers of things separating. Jackfruit, though, is kind of exhibits this very clearly. And these fibers pulling away so that we can kind of get to the meat of things. But it starts with a single idea, perhaps a divine idea, an idea that was downloaded to you, that was given to you by your higher self, by your soul, and it's calling you. I hope that you started to express it, but maybe some of you haven't. And maybe you've also been seeing the number 22 or 222 places. It's this sense of, you know, the Two of Cups in the tarot is the divine partnership card. It's the connection between you and your higher self, coming into alignment with your ideas, with your creative spark, and then doing something with it, not just sitting on it. So let's see what the tarot has to say. 3 cards for the base spread, 3 cards for clarifier, past, present, future, and at the end I'll pull a card of advice from Spirit. This is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Woo! Okay. Amazing. I just want to show you number 20, the Judgment card, but it's just like these 2 X's here, right? Because this card is, this deck also is in Roman numerals. So that's pretty incredible, actually. Now I'm seeing that band, isn't it called? There's a band called the XX. Is that what they're called? Double? I don't know how you pronounce it. I've always said XX in my head. One more. Okay. I was half expecting to see your card come out, the Devil card, which is card of Capricorn, but it didn't. At least not yet. Let's start with the past energy, Judgment. This is a perfect card to describe what is happening here, because the Judgment card, you can see here, it's like, kind of looks like doors behind doors, portals, passageways, paths, opportunities, Spirit just said. The Judgment card talks about answering the call of Spirit, answering the call of the Archangel. What are you here to do? What is your calling? What is it that you need to express to the world? The thing that's burning inside of you that only you can transmit, communicate, because it's in your unique vision, your unique voice. The Judgment card asks us to rise to the occasion. In a sense, walk through. It's almost like, with the fact that it's kind of transparent, like, it's like you can see what's going on behind the door. Like, you can see the potential of what expressing your ideas creatively would do for you. And it's just about taking that step. Right? But in the past energy, you had to think about it. 4 of Swords. You weren't quite ready. That's okay. You needed to weigh all your options. There could have been disappointments in the past where you tried something creative and it didn't work out. To that, I would say, you know, you gained knowledge of what didn't work so that you're not going to repeat it. You're not going to make the same decisions. You're more informed, you're more experienced. But I feel as though you took a time out because there was, it's like, I heard the expression, there's a lot riding on this. It means a lot to you. There's a lot riding on this, and you don't want to just throw money at it or throw resources at it without thinking it through. Can I get a clarifier for the Judgment card, please? What is it that we are questioning in the past energy? Knight of Wands. If we're being too spontaneous, if we're being a little haphazard in our actions. Knight of Wands is very passionate, loves to make a splash, loves to make a name for themselves, a little bit of a show off, and, you know, more power to you if that's what you want to do. But in the past energy, you know, because I was asking about, you know, what this is all about, what is the Judgment card, you know, talking about, and it actually goes right to the heart of what I was saying in the beginning about confidence. Knight of Wands is extremely confident, really works from the solar plexus, the sacral, and the root. Even the color scheme here supports that they work from a place of kind of burning passion. However, they're not always consistent. So perhaps that is what is in question right now, that maybe you know this about yourself. For example, and it's not a judgment, it's like, for example, I often start a lot of projects that I don't finish. I'm trying to be better about that. Like personally, I try to be better about that because I've recognized that it's to my detriment. Like I have a book that I've been writing for, like, I don't even know, 18 years at this point. It's crazy because the book that I started writing so long ago actually was about things that are happening to me now. So I always wonder if Spirit just channeled all of that into me, because now I'm like living the life somewhat of some of the characters in my book, right? There have been like sewing projects and other projects that I just have not finished. And I hate that. I hate that. So it's not a criticism that I'm saying, you know, well, there's not a lot of staying power with the Knight of Wands sometimes. And if you recognize that, that's the first step in kind of conquering it, right? So it's not that you don't want to walk through this door into something that could potentially be just amazing and eye-opening, but you want to make sure that you yourself can follow through. And the thing about it is, it's like, there's nobody here, there's nobody here that's like judging you or keeping an eye on you or holding you to account. This is purely you, which makes it even harder. You have to hold yourself accountable. That's the hardest thing. You know you can do it though. You know you can do it. In the present energy though, this is strange. Queen of Swords in the reverse. And the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. So I want to point out here, there's a little bit of a synchronicity happening. See this? That's not a coincidence. It's almost like on the other side of this door, there could be this fear or an actual Queen of Swords type character that might have something to say about your decision making. This is in the present energy, the Queen of Swords, and you got the card in reverse. So you have the Queen of Swords. It's like, this is kind of a warm palette. This is a cooler palette. Queen of Swords can be very discerning, just like the King, but she sees things in kind of black and white. She looks for the truth of things. She can be sarcastic. She's no nonsense. She's very sharp. She's been through a lot. I don't read this as your energy. I read this as someone else. When the card comes out in reverse, it's kind of telling me that whoever this character is, it's like they're not even like giving it the time of day. I don't even want to look at what truths we're talking about, what situations we're talking about. I'm not interested. So there's somebody in your present moment that I feel as though is doubting your I don't want to go so far as to say doubting your ability, but they're putting a wrench in the plan. Right? They're the thing that's somehow sitting between between you and this other door. It's like, imagine if I just inserted it right in between these two doors, inserted this person, and it's just like, stop, ho there, wait, I have opinions, right? But in the reverse, it's like, stop, wait, you can't do this. I don't care what you have to say about it. And it's clarified by the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Pentacles is your element, the earth signs. It's a real world opportunity that wants to be handed to you by spirit. Just given to you. Here you go, Capricorn. This is tailor-made just for you. And it's in reverse because there's somebody here that's blocking your access to take hold of it. The card is in reverse. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. And okay, Spirit just said this person might not even know they have this much influence over you. It feels parenty, but it doesn't have to be a parent. It could be a best friend, could be a sibling, just a hater, or somebody, you know, maybe it's not that they're a hater, but like they're just negative. They're doubting. You know, because oftentimes when we finally get to this place where we feel strongly enough that we want to express ourselves, it usually doesn't look like how we've ever expressed ourselves previously. It's like somebody, you know, that used to work in corporate America, and now they're a baker. You know, they bake things for a living. They've opened up a pastry shop. There's so many stories like this where people left 9-to-5 jobs or what have you to go pursue their passions. Spirit is showing me a very specific video that I saw actually a couple times. It's this brother and sister. The brother works in corporate America and he's visiting his sister in Hawaii. And basically, she's a surfer girl who literally lives in a shack behind her friend's house. She has like no running water. Like it's not even really that enclosed, but she has everything she needs. She grows her own food. Like she doesn't have to pay rent or a very nominal amount. She just surfs all day. It's like maybe she has a job, I don't know, but it's like she's just living her best life. And he's just looking around that it's like, okay, how could you possibly live in conditions like this? And she's probably thinking, how could you not? And looking at his life and thinking, you know, you're living in the trappings of society. This is not a comment about it. This is just the interaction that I gleaned from both of them, right? It's like to each their own, but sometimes when we express ourselves, people don't understand. To which I would ask you, Capricorn, like, how important is it for other people to understand? It's your life, it's not their life. You know, I understand things can be complicated if you have responsibilities. Like, if you have children, you know, that's a responsibility that you should not shirk. And that is a strong opinion from me, right? But other than that, it's kind of like, and even if you have kids, it doesn't mean that you can't be creative and express yourself. It could be more difficult to do it, but you absolutely can. So these are kind of scenarios that are kind of popping up into my mind. Who is this Queen of Swords? Why are they putting up such a fuss? Four of Pentacles. Maybe, well, could be a benefactor. Four of Pentacles is somebody who is miserly. I specifically asked who the Queen of Swords is, and so this card came out. Miserly, stingy, keeping the purse strings really taut. Yeah, it could be, I don't know if this has to do with like inheritance or reputation, Spirit just said. Because now I hear Taylor Swift. Okay, Taylor Swift, perfect example. Very creative person who just bought back the rights to her own music. And she paid a pretty penny for her own music. The music that she wrote. How are we living in this world where somebody else owned her music? This happens all the time. There's something to it. Does somebody own the rights to your creative idea? And you're trying to get it back? Does somebody want to own the rights to your creative idea? And you don't want to give it to them? Take it as it resonates. There's strife in this present tense with regards to this situation. What is Spirit? I'm going to ask Spirit's advice on this one. In the present moment, what is the advice for the present moment? Look at this. Walk away. 8 of Cups. And, you know, it could be one of those situations where, often with this card, are you crazy? Are you crazy to walk away from your benefactor? Why would you ever do that? You know, now I can't tell you what to do, and Spirit can't tell you what to do. I just pulled a card of advice. This is what I get. 8 of Cups, if you Google it or whatever, walking away from 8 full cups into the unknown. Into the unknown. It does look a little bit like this path though, doesn't it? At least to me. It's like an extension. You know what's best for your situation. Anything that I ever pull up in tarot, it's not new information. It's just pertinent or weird because I'm a stranger, right? Spirit's advice. Now they're singing Fleetwood Mac. You can go your own way. You can go your own way. Do what's best for you, okay? You have free will. You have autonomy. It is your decision. Take this as it resonates. Because I would never advise people to like just up and quit jobs and things like that. I would never do that. I am not in a position to do that. I would never advise that, okay? Just to put that out there. The Spirit agrees. Not asking you to do that. But you got to do what's best for you. In the future potential, looks pretty bright to me. 2 queens. Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands. Look at that. Look at that. This is your future potential. Just living large, living beautifully, connected to your solar plexus and your heart chakra. This connected, it's like mind, gut, brain coherence, like really in alignment with things, sitting fully in the divine feminine energy, just in a position hopefully to be receiving these downloads, these creative hits, expressing those creative hits. This is really, really beautiful. Queen of Cups, somebody who's like generous and just wants to share, right? Share from her cup, share the fruits of her labor, right? Share her ideas with the world. Always in the space of love, self-acceptance. Can I get a clarifier? 6 of Cups in the reverse, not really looking back to the past, not really interested in rehashing anything that was before. We're not in that space anymore. We're not in that headspace of the past. Letting it go. So let's read from the book, number 22, The Creator. The artist, the alchemist, the innovator. The creator, the first archetype in the trio of existence, is not intimidated by darkness or by lack. They know that from the void, creation inevitably emerges with meager, minimal, and outlandish materials. The Creator reveals a new image. They make the empty room resonate with healing sounds. They generate bounty from the seed that others tossed away. Though generative, this archetype annihilates preconceived notions of what is possible, leaving unexpected openings in the wake of its destruction. The Creator does this by first being absolutely present to what is, not imagining or wishing things were different, and second, trusting that a force greater than themselves awaits constant collaboration with each human soul. Whether we call it nature, God, goddess, Shakti, or divinity, it remains nameless. It is the Creator's lifelong companion. So that's your reading, Capricorn. I hope that it resonates. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Capricorn.